Hello, I'm Wilson, and I'm doing analysis on Forrest Gump. So, go to PowerPoint thing. So then the genre, it's a mixture of a couple dramas. I mean, genre, drama, romance, and comedy. So then for drama, it's either narrative fiction or semi-fiction. And then you could see this in the movie by Forrest Gump narrating what has happened in the events when he's on the bench, and drama is usually a more serious tone. However, in this movie, they have comedy as well, which kind of not make it a traditional drama, but it's kind of sub drama, romance, and drama comedy. Then for romance is relationship between two characters. It's shown through Jenny and Forrest throughout the whole movie. So then a little bit of history about the drama history. It started in the early 1950s with like one of the earliest movies was Citizen Kane, which had like the narrative and also the drama other aspects in it, and then it shifted in the 1960s. It had other themes instead of just human um, characteristics or a person's journey. Like it had like sports, war, and other things. In 1980s, it had some highly emotional themes. It and throughout another century, 1990s, it tackled like other issues like race and stuff like that during the times. And then today, you could see that all themes is tackled in drama. Yeah. So then this kind of synopsis of what happens in Forrest Gump. At first, he's on a bench talking to like strangers, waiting for a bus to take them to go see Jenny. On the what he explains to the strangers is like his stories through the Vietnam War, ping pong, his early days, basically his journey in life, and that's very key important for later on themes and stuff like that. And then later on, he meets Jenny, etc. He runs to her. But this is the plot diagram. So then the exposition is that it starts off where Forrest Gump's on a bench talking to people. The rising action would be once you get into the stories where he's talking about his war in Vietnam, his ping pong journey, Jenny, and also meeting Jenny, and also running across the country through the U.S. a couple times. And for the climax, I would guess it would when he finally meets Jenny and sees his son, because then that was the whole purpose of like telling his story sitting on the bench at the beginning. And following action is when he and Jenny got married, and Jenny dies, and then Denon, I can't pronounce that, but basically is when Jenny's dead, and Forrest has to take care of his son and brings him to school, and it kind of starts off the same thing as the beginning where he talks to the bus driver. So then some themes of this movie, well, which I interpret was like it had a lot to do with the journey of life and destiny. How sometimes it's accidental or it's whatever's predetermined or it's both, and this could be told later on by Dan, Lieutenant Dan, and also Jenny too, and her hopes and aspirations, and also Forrest Gump's where he doesn't really know where he's going. So then this is my first visual text. Um, so in the first, I'm gonna be comparing between like two images in some of these visual texts. So then the first scene, um, it, at the beginning of the movie, the first scene, it shows his shoes, and then it shows like it's a zoom up into his shoes, kind of like showing kind of what's a foreshadow of what's gonna happen later and stuff, and seeing like what's Forrest's journey, what he's been through and stuff. Seeing it's all dirty, and then later on, like maybe like 2 seconds later, it goes into a wide shot of him and another person on the bench, and it's I think this is just showing a comparison between hers and his journey and how they got here. Basically, her shoes are white while his is dirty and looks all beaten up. But yeah, they even have a conversation about how Forrest thinks that her shoes might probably is comfortable and all that stuff as well. However, she says her foot is hurting, which I found that kind of amusing. Yeah. Also, that goes on to the theme about like the journey, one person journey, how it's predictable or not, which is going to happen later. Because in Forrest in this movie, kind of just goes with the flow of what happens to him. Yeah. Well, in the next scene, well, visual text. This is Jenny when she was like doing hard drugs and stuff. This is kind of showing her her what her point was in that point of the movie, like how she was feeling or kind of like that. This was shown by like the lighting, how it's very dim inside, and then you can see the shadows across her face and her body. Even her body gesture is in like it's all crouched and stuff like that. So even then, you already know that, and it's hiding like the shadows are hiding part of her face and stuff like that, kind of showing that her position in life right now, like where she wants to be, and isn't like where she wants to be. Also, later in that scene, she wants to commit suicide as well, which kind of set herself, symbolizing setting herself free or something like that. But yeah, so that's kind of her journey in life. But later on, she goes and finds Forrest again, and then gets her stuff back together. In this scene, this is for Lieutenant Dan's. So then a little backstory on Lieutenant Dan is that he he wanted to die. Forrest saved him from like a napalm strike or when his battalion was being demolished in the Vietnam War. But he didn't want to be saved. He wanted to die in honor, get like a medal or something. And then later in life, he becomes crippled where his legs doesn't work, and then this is him now when Forrest meets him at the New Year's. So then, in the image that was shown on the left, it's kind of showing that he's kind of it's a zoom in on him, and then in the background there's like a lot of people, right? But then it's zooming on him, and he's kind of looking straight into nothing, kind of showing that he's confused and that he's like not a part of what's happening in the background because in while they're facing the other way and stuff, he's facing towards us. But yeah, it's kind of showing that he's like lost, confused, or like doesn't know what to do with his life. But then later on in the story, where when he becomes one of the Forrest Gump's deck, first mate on deck for his shrimping boat journey, there's this one storm where he was like very happy, like excited, like he found like some type of meaning in life, and then he jumps. This is in the scene where he's is the first time he calls Forrest by his real name, and then he jumps off the boat and well he thanks him first for saving his life for the very first time and jumps off the boat and swims. But in this shot, the right side, there's like nothing behind him. Like it's all clear, clear skies, whatever lighting's just like everywhere, shining. It's kind of like a compare contrast before the other picture on the left, where it's like crowded and like like he doesn't know what's happening. Not he doesn't know, but he was kind of lost in his journey. But on the right side, he's there's like empty. It's more clear symbolically too. That yeah, that he like kind of found meaning in his life and stuff like that. So then conclusion. So through like the theme could be shown through imagery and character building of the movie Forrest Gump, which I thought that it's what made like it's so highly rated and one of the top 100s. And also the theme that through the imagery and character building, it shows like the theme, or like what I interpret it as a theme where like journey of life is accidental and also destiny at the same time. Even Trump's Forrest Gump, Trump says this, that he thinks like, or his mother, that destiny, that it could be destiny or a floating accident dental on a breeze. Maybe it's both, which he kind of talks about. And also, at the beginning of the movie, he finds a feather, and then later in the movie, there is an he where he drops off his son. It was, I think, I would assume it's the same feather that traveled with him through that journey, which kind of showing kind of his destiny and accidental at the same time as well. But yeah, is my presentation or analysis on Forrest Gump. Thank you.